Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pick and Roll for the Tuesday NBA slate. We are back on the Board YouTube channel as we are every weekday morning at this time, except for tomorrow. We're usually
What's
going live at
happening?
11:30 a.m. Eastern time for Pick and Roll. Tomorrow, though, we are going to be changing to 30 minutes early because we have a little bit of scheduling issues. So extra 30 minutes early. If you can't make that, of course, you can still watch at 11:30 after the fact. These live stay on the channel. But to stay up to date with all our shows, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as well. Drop a like if you enjoyed this one along the way. So we'll start off today's show. We'll talk about yesterday's plays. Unfortunately, it was an 0-2 start to the week. We were off by one assist on Cade. Looked like at halftime that he was going to be able to get us to the 6 assists that we needed. Wasn't able to do that on his SGP. Bruce Brown shoots very efficiently and goes over by one field goal. He goes to 15 points. We needed under 13 and a half. Pips, a quick word on these plays before the play for today.
Yeah, I mean Bruce Brown, some lucky shooting there. He was like the 6 from 10 when he covered. Then he had like two terrible quick shots later, and finished the game just one bucket over the line. And he played the most minutes of anyone in that game, 37. I didn't expect that. He played on the rotations to play like 31 to 32 minutes in the first two games. So that was kind of surprising. And I think those 5 minutes could be the thing that helped him get over the line. And the second stuff, in the first three games, Killian Hayes had 5 potential assists, and in the last game he had 16. So they completely went to playing Cade off the ball in that game, and yeah, just something you can predict. It was first 3 games, it was everything through Cade. He had 15 potential assists, like everything was going through him, and then in just suddenly against the Oklahoma City Thunder, they went everything through Killian Hayes. So that was weird.
Yeah, a couple of unlucky ones there. Hopefully, we get it back today. We do have a pick for you guys today. It's a small slate, so it's just a one play that we have for today. This one has been FanDuel always moves like 1 cent here or there, so stick to right around where it is. But right now, this one is on FanDuel for minus 120. We are going to the Clippers game. It looks like it's going to be a brand new Clippers team out here this season, but we're going to the Clippers game. Just verify we have it. Yes, we do. For the Orlando Magic who are in town, we're going to take Franz Wagner, 15 plus points, and Kawhi Leonard, 20 plus points. This one currently at minus 120. And we started the show as minus 118. So just right around that area is good for this one. FanDuel does move consistently. They're one of the sharper books when it comes to player props. But nonetheless, Pips, you like this play here for Wagner and for Leonard. The Clippers, obviously, about to look very new in the next few days. We'll talk about the big trade in just a second here, but talk us through this play before we get there.
So first of all, let's start with Franz Wagner. So he looked kind of the first options on this team. Banchero playing terrible so far to start the season. Don't shoot much. Don't actually score much. It's all down to Franz actually. So in the first game of the season, he had a pretty difficult matchup against the Houston Rockets. Scored 19 points in a blowout. Next game against Portland, he did get some tie ball cover, scored 23 points on poor shooting. So he shot 16 times and got to the line 9 times. So he had 9 free throws and 16 field goal attempts. So yeah, in the last game against the Lakers, he had terrible shooting game, 5 from 17, and still covered this line and scored 16 points. So yeah, his usage is just way too big for this line. And against the Clippers, he should be probably the single coverage against Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and some guys off the bench. And yeah, not easy matchups, but no one else has it better. And with his aggression, and yeah, I just expect him to, even with some low efficiency, to just slide through this line. And the second part of this bet is Kawhi Leonard. Obviously, like, he's the most consistent, one of the most consistent scorers. Like, he always get to like 22, 23 points. And now they lost some players and some depth, so Kawhi could play a bit more. He will be needed to play a bit more because Orlando Magic showed that they are a good team, so I don't expect blowout in this game. But also, Kawhi, first game of the season, blowout, short minutes, 23 points. Then against Utah Jazz, he was double teamed almost every possession, still end up scoring 25 points. And then last game against the San Antonio Spurs, again, huge blowout. Kawhi still scored 21 in like 2.5 quarter. Like he was done playing with like middle of the third quarter. So still covered. And now I expect close game and I expect Kawhi to just have an amazing game.
He really is a machine with his mannerisms, and he's a machine on the court as well with his scoring, as you said, unfazed at all times. And even with the trade that we saw today, or we saw, I don't know when you saw it. I woke up to this one this morning, but even with that in play, he should be locked in and hopefully getting those 20 plus points. So once again, 15 plus for Wagner, 20 plus for Leonard, right around minus 120, minus 118 is where we're going to play that. But obviously, the big trade happened yesterday between the Clippers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Pips is a big Rockets fan and was maybe still is, of course, a big James Harden fan. So wanted to get his thoughts on the trade. I'm just going to pull up the trade here so we understand completely the components that were involved in this one. So the trade as a whole, the Clippers got James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev. The Sixers got Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, 2 first-round picks. I believe it is the 2026 from OKC, the 2028 from the Clippers, some seconds, and a pick swap. Pips, your first reaction to the trade, who do you think won?
I think both teams done well in this one. It's a bit confusing on the Clippers side that they didn't want to give Terrence Mann so bad, that they did give some draft compensation that was maybe a bit too much, but still I think this is a great trade for both. I always like the only thing that these Clipper teams with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard need is a great pick and roll guy and great creator, and now they got a great one. But I have my concern with Harden and Westbrook playing together. Like, if Westbrook wasn't on that team, I would honestly absolutely love this trade for the Clippers, but it will be difficult to see how they can play together.
Yeah, it's an interesting one here. Value-wise, me and Pitt spoke about beforehand. I mean, Terrence Mann is a 27-year-old role player. I don't know what it is about him that they want to keep so bad, especially like adding in Harden. Terrence Mann's role seemingly would diminish a little bit. The Westbrook Harden fit is going to be very interesting, of course, but I think it was one pick too many here. The Sixers really had no leverage in this situation. Harden made it explicitly clear he does not want to play for the Sixers. So value-wise for Harden, even for just 1 year, pretty good. You get a lot off of a lot of bad contracts, even though they're expiring as well. But just because the Sixers don't really have any leverage to play in this one, I'm not sure how they managed to swindle the extra pick on this one, but they did. So credit to Daryl Morey. Always seems to find a way to get the value out of his players in a trade. But I guess the further question now would be about the Clippers. The Clippers have been this this team that's like really good, but never really goes anywhere for the last 5 years. So the Los Angeles Clippers, Harden, Leonard, Paul George, as good as the team seems, I'm still not convinced. The injury bug is always there for PG, for Kawhi. It seems to be biting Harden a little bit at this day and age. Do you think the Clippers are a serious threat in the Western Conference even after this trade?
It's always down to, are they healthy? If they are healthy, they can win. Like, that was the case every year so far. So
big if.
Yeah, big if. But if they are healthy, they can win. So last season, I think if they were healthy, they could seriously win. Like, they are great. They have great coach and great team. There are not many teams in the league that have 2 stars, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, being great defensive players. So it's not even difficult to make a good team around them. They have Zubats, who is also one of the underrated players. He's a great defensive guy. He can rebound. He can play with those guys. Now they have a great pick and roll guy, great playmaker. The thing is, they just need some shooter around them, and that's it. Like, everyone can defend. You can hide Harden easily with so many defensive guys. And now you have PJ Tucker, which he's not a great player anymore, but You can play small ball 5 sometimes in the playoffs, which they didn't have any chance to do in previous seasons. So there are options, and I think they're very good. The question is, how does Westbrook and Harden fit? I don't see them playing on the court together. So do you cut down Westbrook to 20 minutes a game? How will that affect him? It's difficult. We'll need to see how does it work. Because
I kind of feel bad for Russ because he was doing well, embracing this kind of lesser role, even as a starter, embracing his lesser role. And now Harden's here. It doesn't seem like they have a great relationship. Westbrook certainly has to drop to the bench now and be the sixth man. So I don't know. A lot for them to figure out. I guess it's a good problem to have. Odds wise, the Clippers have now moved into third place, at least on FanDuel. I'm just looking at for the odds to win the Western Conference. They are plus 700 now to make the NBA Finals. And they have the obviously Boston and Milwaukee, since it's an easier road, have the highest odds to win the NBA championship. But the Clippers are now fifth, just ahead of the Warriors.
But this is interesting. Like you have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and then you have guys like Norman Powell, who can get you 30 points every night. You have Bones Highland, who's playing way better this season. You have Mason Plumlee and Zubats at the 5. Now you have PJ Tucker added. Yeah, this team could.
It's a great
Terrence
team.
Mann.
I mean, it's a great team. Terrence Mann,
this team could be really good. Yeah, it's amazing team. Yeah.
It's just
that's like
I'm not afraid because I'm not afraid because I cannot trust this team to be healthy. I just can't. I cannot trust Kawhi Leonard in particular to be healthy for like. First of all, he has to be healthy at the start of playoffs. Then he has to be involved in 16 wins. Like that's going to cost them 30 games maybe or so. There's just no way. There's just like looking back on the Raptors championship, it is honestly a miracle that he got through that entire playoffs without any injury. Truly a miracle. So I can't see it. And Paul, even if he is healthy, Paul George has injury issues. If they're both healthy, Harden deals with injury, like niggling injury issues as well. Not to the same degree, not anywhere near to the same degree, but I don't know. It's just always something with the Clippers that I just can't trust them. I don't know. That's all I can really say on them.
Yeah, always was.
But on paper, hell yeah, that is a bona fide super team. A super team with stars, as you said, who can actually play defense as well. So if they're healthy, that's the best team in the NBA. Maybe not the NBA. That's the best team in the West. That might be the best team in the NBA, to be honest, if they're healthy. If they're healthy.
There are so many great teams now. Like, can they go against the Boston Celtics? Sure, but they're not probably a better team there. Like it's close. Against Denver Nuggets, when the rotation goes like to 7 men, like Denver is very, very, very good team. Then like
on paper, I favor the Clippers over the Suns on paper. I might favor them over Denver, but if Denver have home court, which they probably will, and Clippers health, I don't know. I think the odds are correct where they are right now. Clippers are behind the Nuggets and Suns, quite heavily, just in front of the Warriors and Lakers. I think that makes sense at this point.
Yeah, I will agree. Yeah.
So we'll see how all of that turns out. The Harden fit is going to be interesting. The Harden motivation is going to be also very interesting. He's in a contract year, so I don't really see why there wouldn't be motivation, but you never really know with James Harden.
I think Harden motivation is very high.
All right. I'm excited to see how it looks. When healthy, I'm excited to see what this looks like. I think this is a chance to make some fireworks. If you're a Clippers fan, you have to like the fact that they're still going all out on this project here while they can, because clock seems to be ticking a little bit. That 2028 first round pick that's going to the Sixers might be, I think it will be very, very valuable the way it seems to be heading at the moment. So that'll wrap up the show. Here is the play that we have from today. It is in the Magic against the Clippers. It is Franz Wagner, 15 plus points. Kawhi Leonard, 20 plus points for minus 120 odds. I'm seeing in the chat that this one is minus 135 on some other books like DraftKings. So get this price while you can. Make sure you're using an odds comparison tool like BetSam for all of your sports wagers to ensure you're getting the best possible price. You lose less on your losers, you win more on your winners. It takes you just an extra few seconds to check for the best possible price. Use our link in the description to sign up, betstamp.app/theboard to see what sportsbooks are available in your location. I'll be back tomorrow with Pips 30 minutes earlier than normal, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But we'll be back every day this week in the morning, and I'll be back on Thursday as well with Kirk Evans. So subscribe to the channel, drop a like if you enjoyed. Me and Pips will see you tomorrow. Thank you again, everybody.